Hey there again, folks. Welcome back to Remember11, the Age of Infinity. Now, last time we had some interaction with Yuni. Got a bit rejected, I guess. I guess is what you would say. How Satoru put it anyway. And then Utsumi tried to kill Hattori. Yeah, pretty much explains it all. Uh, just like Clarissa. But anyway, so yeah. Oh, and episode 97. Woo! We're three more away from episode 100. It'll be the third episode 100 I've done so far. Yeah, especially when it comes to a visual novel. So pretty cool deal. A lot of Let's Plays don't make it 100 episodes. Of course, a lot of them don't need to make it 100 episodes, but still pretty cool, I think. All right. Anyway. But tell it that Hattori and Inabushi are different people. That is my thinking here. I'm basing this off of the fact that I think she believed Satoru. Wait, did she believe Satoru when? Okay, it's TV in the other room. I was like, what is that? Yeah, I think she believed Satoru when he was talking about Yomogi, having met Yomogi, so. Well, she wasn't completely dubious of it, I don't think. Though my memory is horrible, so she may have, so. I'm gonna hope for the best.
分かってないのはあんたの方だ。この子は純一君を殺した犯人じゃない。犬伏恵子じゃないんだよ。
そんな話聞き飽きたわ。 DID だから許してやれって言うんでしょ。あの時その女は心神喪失状態にあったから、だから罪には問われないってそう言いたいんでしょ。でもね、そんなこと私には関係ないの。私はただその女の存在が許せないだけなの。
だからそれが誤解なんだよ。こいつの名前は鈴影ほとり、18便の搭乗者のうちの一人なんだ。
She squinted until her eyes were thin slits. It's like she was trying to see me better.
あなた何言ってるの？
説明する。全部説明してやるよ。でもその前に刃物を置いてくれ。な。
Simi lowered her head as if pondering something. She raised it again right away.
ここまで来た以上、後戻りはできない。
内海さん。
やめて。もう何も聞きたくない。あなたを殺し、その女も殺して、私も死ぬのよ。ごめんなさい、ユキド君。さよなら。
Okay. Simi once again raised a knife. Resolve myself. I covered Hattori's body with my own. Shut my eyes. Oh wait, I can't close my eyes to do it and read either. I read it as well, I mean. You read my teeth and tense my back, bracing myself for the moment to come. But nothing happened. A stinging pain still penetrated my back, but aside from that, I was untouched. I timidly opened my eyes, turned around. Sumi wasn't looking in our direction. She murmured softly. Following her gaze, I saw the figure of a boy beyond the fallen shelves. It was Yuni. With a stern expression on his face, Yuni climbed over the shelves toward us. He was staring straight at Utsumi's arm. A knife covered in blood was still suspended from it. Yuni calmly told her. His tone was gentle, soothing.
もしかしたら、悟が
また何かしちゃったのかもしれないけど、でもそんなことしちゃダメなんだ。サトルだって悪い人じゃないんだから。
11。
Utsumi had said it. Junichi. Had she lost her sanity during the rampage? And now only saw a phantom before? She was seeing the image of her dead son imposed over Yuni?
ね。だからそんなこともうやめよう。
でも11はそれでいいの？
Yuni's expression turned dubious, unsure of what to do about being called Junichi. His eyes flickered in my direction. I silently nodded.
それでいい。
He undoubtedly understood the situation as he answered without correcting her.
許せるの？あんなひどいことをされたっていうのに許してしまっていいの？
いいんだ。もうそれよりも僕はカーリーがそんな風に変わっちゃったことの方が悲しい。
Oh, okay.
いつも優しくて穏やかで僕のこと慰めてくれて心配してくれて、僕そんなカーリーのことが好きだったんだ。僕にはお母さんが。だからカーリーのことをお母さんみたいに思ってて。
His voice slowly choked up with tears. Utsumi was immobile, awash in the reverberations of his voice.
でも今のカーリーは怖い女の人になっちゃってて嫌なんだよ、そんなカーリーのこと。
Utsumi's thin back began to tremble. Human warmth returned to her face. A single tear fell from her red eyes.
ねえ、もう前のカーリーには戻ってくれないの？僕のこと抱きしめてくれないの？僕のお母さんはやっぱりいなくなっちゃったんだね。
So he doesn't have a mother. That's interesting.
11。
Have they mentioned why he doesn't? The knife fell from Utsumi's hand. She rushed over to him and took his small body in her arms.
11。ごめんね。ごめんなさい。あなたがいなくなってお母さん耐えられなかったの。どうしてもあなたのことが忘れられなくて。許して11。お母さんのこと許して。
Utsumi's tears fell without end. I drew her toward close and embraced her.
もう大丈夫だ。すべては。
I said in a whisper. Tori had her face pressed against my chest, crying loudly. The sound of their sobbing resonated together, echoing in the silent air. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe. It took a while for Utsumi to regain her composure. Present time, 1:36 p.m. Time does the thing happen? We walked together under the clear winter sky. After days of fine weather, the fallen snow had hardened. I walked ahead of her, trampling down the snow first so she could have an easier time walking through it. She followed me in silence. Once we reached the top of the hill, we stopped for a rest. The sky was perfectly clear, a never-ending mantle of blue. Brought her along because I wanted to show her the sky's radiance. Utsumi sat down in the snow and hung her head. Stood next to her and idly kicked at the snow. It didn't scatter like fresh powder. It broke into countless fragments in the air and sprinkled back down onto the hill. The pain to my back had greatly diminished. Tori had treated me. The wound wasn't particularly deep, and I hadn't needed stitches. The one who'd inflicted that injury was Utsumi, the one right here next to me. But I didn't resent her for that. I wasn't expecting an apology either. There's only one thing I wished from her. That she returned to her former self, that alone. My wish was exactly the same as what Yuni had said in the storeroom. A gentle kind Utsumi, full of maternal affection. Before I knew it, I'd become fascinated with that Utsumi. That's why I wanted to return to the way she'd been before.
私入院してたの。
Before I even opened my mouth, she'd begun to speak of her own accord.
なんで入院してたのかは言わなくてもわかるわよね。
I didn't answer, still gazing up at the blue sky, I silently listened to her story.
純一の死、それだけでも耐えられないことだったのに、去年の1月。彼、
よもぎさんの
Oh, oops, didn't mean to cut her off there.
そう。その時にはすでに私の中には赤ちゃんがいたの。純一のことはどんなことがあっても決して忘れられないけれど、でも新しく宿ったその命は私と彼にとって純一が私たちのことを気遣って赤ん坊を授けてくれたんじゃないかって、そんな気もした。お腹の中にいる時から私は子供たちを愛した。深く深く全てを捧げてもいいとさえ思った。それほどまでに二つの命は尊い存在だったの。二人の赤ちゃんは私たちにとってかけがえのない希望だった。
二人
I was interrupting her, but I had to ask. I instinctively looked
そう
down.
よ。二人まだ教えてなかったかしら。
つまり双子
But it looked like that on the ultrasound, though.
ええ、男の子と女の子なの。
じゃああの写真に写ってたのは
そのうちのどちらかよ。2枚目にも3枚目にも4枚目にも同じような赤ちゃんが写ってたでしょ。
Oh, wait, yeah, we did see a picture of a baby. Man, I'm having a hard time remembering, but yeah, I do remember seeing a picture of a baby. I mean, that was past when Junichi died, didn't it? I see. I'd been under the impression that those 4 photos all depict the same baby, but that wasn't the case. Separate photos of either the boy or the girl.
そうか。去年の8月に生まれたのは二卵性の双子だったのか。
何か気になることでも？
いや、ごめん。続けてくれ。
I invited her to continue, but her lips didn't move. Looking into her eyes, she seemed engrossed in thought. Was it because I had unnecessarily interrupted her? She'd shut herself away in her own world. Couldn't say anything, I couldn't find the words. I could only wait for her to start again. And before long,
死んでしまったのよ。
her next sentence was delivered in a voice heavy with grief.
結局2人の赤ん坊を見ることもなく、彼は置き去りにされたと思ったわ。悲しさとか寂しさとか、そんな言葉ではとても言い表せないほどの絶望感を覚えた。そして神の定めた運命を。
It was inevitable to make her heart sick. At around the same time, two little lives were growing in her belly. She'd finally found a ray of hope, but it hadn't lasted. The monkey died, caught in an avalanche. After that, Utsumi became a seething mass of hatred. And the originator of all her happiness was Inabushi Keiko. Utsumi swore revenge on Inabushi and, at the same time, was sucked down into a whirlpool of malice. She lost the ability to make the right choices.
狭い個室にね、一人きりで閉じ込められていたの。とても深くて寂しい場所だった。地下にあったのよ。北海道檜羽郡萌木村蛍火。蛍火という場所の地下に。退院できたのは去年の7月16日。
Am I supposed to remember them places? I don't remember them, but they were very specific.
二人の赤ちゃんを産んだのは、それから
Oops.
明日、その二人の赤ちゃんが来ること。
Okay, good, they're still alive. Okay. I was wondering about that. She was like, I was afraid that something. Okay, good. That's good. I'm cool with that.
この島に
Who's Brent? What? Guess the thought of her babies had overwhelmed her emotionally. She suddenly began to cry. Why her babies coming to the island if she had planned on killing herself after she killed Hattori? Tears carved tiny circles in the white snow where they fell. Great big drops ran endlessly down her cheeks.
早くあの子たちに会いたい。会いたい。
In the rays of sunshine that shone down upon us, her figure glimmered with a divine light. A white veil surrounded her. A pure, spotless white. The color of nothing. The color of beginnings. Perhaps she was already being born anew in this world. That's certainly what the scene before me looked like. Utsumi was a mother. Just a mother wishing for the happiness of her 3 children. I knelt beside her and took her hand. She buried her face in my shoulder.
ごめんなさい。
She muttered.
私、嘘をついてたの。私は精神科の医師なんかじゃなかったの。
Yeah, I kind of figured that. I didn't care about that anymore. Her hot tears soaked through my shirt as she continued to weep. Not even a month had passed since the winter solstice. The sunset came early to Aosagi Island. The perfectly clear winter sky was dyed in a myriad gradation. What? Gradation of red from east to west. Other way around, a bewitching clear sunset. For 4 days straight, Osagi Island had been blessed with fine weather. But at Mount Akakura, the snowstorm still raged. According to the magazine article, the weather won't improve until dawn on the 17th. Then at 6:53 a.m. on the same day, an avalanche will occur at location X. Present time, 4:15 p.m. Okay. I was really confused. That was all he was saying. 4 days were passing. Or a month had passed. That confused me. That time drew nearer every moment. There's nothing I could do now. The Yuni of the shelter cabin had clearly stated the next transfer would occur tomorrow at 4:48 a.m. I thought they were within that day. If I chose to believe them, that meant I had just over 12 hours. In order to rescue the 4 shelter cabin refugees, a space-time transfer was essential. The only thing I could do now was wait. I went back inside. Even now, I couldn't get accustomed to seeing the destroyed state of the living area. We didn't feel the slightest desire to tidy it up either. We'll make Kokoro clean us up when she gets here. Yeah. I sat down on the ripped-up couch and started thinking about matters at Sphia. After a confession on the hill, Utsumi had quietly returned to her room. She'd taken a sedative and was now sound asleep. Yuni was there too, watching over her. Hattori had locked herself in her room and wasn't coming out. She's holding on to the knife that Utsumi had with her, I guess for self-defense, and won't put it down for a moment. That Utsumi had any desire to kill her anymore. And although I insisted upon that fact to Hattori, I was unable to soothe her. She'd already been close to death once. I suppose a reaction like this was unavoidable. It's all well and good that Utsumi's given up on trying to kill her, but things between the four of us here were still very awkward. The hearts of everyone at Sphia, mine included, had darkened. We'd misunderstood one another and began to see suspicious goings on around every corner. Yes, misunderstood. This is all one big misunderstanding. I'm not the one who killed Inamoto, and Hattori wasn't the one who took Junichi's life. Consequently, Yuni had no reason to fear me, and Utsumi's hatred of Hattori never been anything more than a horrible mistake from the start. So if I tell them what I know, the truth about the space-time transfer, would I be able to open up the path of reconciliation? Still, no matter how I insisted, I don't think they'd believe me at all. And, on the off chance that they actually did believe me, the three of them might stop being so paranoid, but I just couldn't get past my lingering distrust, because someone is definitely after my life, and the culprit is unrelated to the space-time transfer. The two women still haven't escaped from my suspicion. Of course, I trusted Utsumi now, but I have no idea what she thought of me before this morning. Suzukage Hattori. Hattori's consciousness isn't Inabushi Keiko. She merely happened to be on the ill-fated flight HAL 18. For what you could only call the whims of fate, she was unfortunately caught up in the transference phenomenon. In that regard, she's just another unlucky victim in this chain of strife. Of course, there's never been blood on her hands before now, I'd wager. Hattori's consciousness, as far as I can say, is innocent. However, while that may be true, I can't state definitively that she's not the one behind the attempted murders. Her aberrant speech and conduct up to this point has given rise to plenty of suspicion. I don't know what her motives are, but I can't shake these lingering doubts that she might be capable of it after all. Utsumi Kali. Utsumi tried to kill Hattori, not me. What if, at the time she was putting her plan into practice, she felt I was in the way? Wouldn't the thought of getting rid of all possible obstacles have crossed her mind? I didn't want to suspect her, but I can't deny the possibility that she's the culprit. Kusuda Yuni. Regarding Yuni, I guess I can rule him out. I don't need to explain why. I believe in him, that's enough. Even if I went out of my way to find a reason to suspect him, he has no motive, and he's even got an alibi for the incident at the clock tower. I'm sure it's impossible for the culprit to be Yuni. Unless one of the Yunis is actually female and they're from the future and they've came back in time to kill the people responsible for the death of their brother. Ooh. Yeah, that's stupid. Yeah, I'm sure that's not it. Lastly, Inamoto Nayoya, whatever his name is. Clock tower, the bathtub, my left arm. It's possible for Inamoto to be responsible for all of those. There's one thing he couldn't possibly have done. Situation with the DMT and the Mao inhibitor. My body drank that liquid yesterday morning after Inamoto's death. Therefore, in this case, there's no way he could have had a part in it. Even if he was the one who went after me the first 3 times, the riddle of the DMT and the Mao inhibitor remains unsolved. Unresolved, I think is what he said. Suddenly I remembered. What do you remember? Gonna have to find out next episode. Do hope you guys enjoyed it. I think we're actually getting really close to the end. I'm curious. Daniel, you have mentioned that I've gotten close to guessing on some of it, guessing correctly on some of it. pretty curious to see what parts I'm close on. But I'm cool with letting myself be surprised as well. So yeah. Hopefully we'll be pretty soon. We're gonna know what the deal with this is. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Farewell.